In this video, we're gonna go through lecture 10, Fundamentals of 3D Modeling, part A. The handout is available on Canvas, and today we're gonna introduce AutoCAD 3D. So before we start going through the handout, I wanna show how to access AutoCAD 3D. So this is our regular interface. We're gonna go to the automation button, select new, and now here I'm gonna access or select AKIT 3D and then open. So you guys can see now we have the 3D dimension. So we have three axes, X, Y, and Z. And if you guys see now the cube here rotated. Usually if you open AutoCAD, the way we've been doing it, we've been focusing on the 2D, and you can easily rotate this cube to get the views that you want on 3D. You can also tap shift, leave it tapped, and then click your wheel and then move your wheel around. After selecting the AKIT template 3D, I also want you to double check that here in this wheel you have selected 3D basics. There's also an option for 3D modeling, but we can learn the basics just from this option, and then modeling just have some advanced commands. Okay, so as I was mentioning, everything that we've done so far is on the X and Y plane, so in this 2D plane, and now we are adding that depth or that Z axis. And this is also called the word coordinate system. So this absolute coordinate system, which AutoCAD calls WCS. You can create user coordinate systems and locate the center or the origin at any location. Today we're going to go through a simple activity just to show how I can move this coordinate system and create different types of UCS. So now we're gonna go here to home. And if you guys notice, the home ribbon is a little different from the one that we've been using. Now we have some create options, edit, and then here's the draw. This one has mostly the commands to create 2D options, and then we still have our modify ribbon. In the drop-down menu from the box, it gives you different options to create different types of objects. We'll cover most of this in the next tutorial. For now, we're gonna focus on box. So I'm gonna click box. And before clicking anywhere, I'm gonna type 0, 0, 0, enter. And if you guys notice, I'm creating a square with the center or one of the corners at 0, 0, 0 will be here at the origin. Then I'm going to specify the next corner by typing 5, 5, 0, enter. So now I have I specify the other distance for or coordinates for that second point. And if you guys notice, I type 5, 5, 5. You are now typing three numbers. So the first number you're typing is the coordinate at the x-axis, the second one is in the y-axis, and then the third one is in the z-axis. Usually you want to draw everything on 2D and then give it a depth. That's what I typed 0 both times when inputting the coordinates for the z-axis. Now, if I move my cursor up, I will create a box going in the positive direction of Z. And if I move my cursor down, I will create a box going in the negative direction of Z. So I'm going to move it up now and I'm going to type 2, enter. So I gave it a height of 2. So in this word coordinate system, the direction that we see the axis is the positive direction. So x, I can see it going in this direction, so in this direction is positive. Y is going in that direction positive, and z is going up positive. So if you input a negative coordinate, it will go in the opposite direction. So x will go that way, z will go down, and then y will go to the left. So we have a box that has an origin here 0, comma 0, comma 0 of the word coordinate system, but I want to move that coordinate system to a different position, and I can do that by creating a UCS. So what I'm gonna do in here in visualize, I have this panel for coordinates and I have different options. And there's different ways to create a user generated coordinate system. We're gonna go through some of them. So the first one will be just by moving the point. So I'm gonna select origin by moving the origin. So I'm gonna select this option here. And now I'm gonna click the new origin that I want. So I'm gonna place it right here. So now this point up here is my new 0, comma 0, comma 0. So now I'm gonna draw something with this new user generated coordinate system. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna drop down the menu and I'm gonna select cylinder. I'm gonna specify the center point of the base. So I'm gonna type 2.5, comma 2.5, comma 0, enter. So if you guys remember, the length of the box was 5. So I gave it coordinates of 2.5 to place it right in the middle. And now it's asking me to specify the base radius. I have a diameter of 4. In order to change it to diameter, I'm gonna type D, enter, and now I'm gonna type 4, enter. So now I have a cylinder with a diameter of 4, and now I'm gonna move my cursor up and I'm gonna type 1, enter. So now the numbers that I input when I was given it the coordinates for the origin, the center, were based on this new generator user coordinate system. We can save this coordinate system if at some point during your work you want to go back to it. So if we go back to visualize and I go here to UCS named UCS, now I have the new coordinate system. So I have the word one and then I have this unnamed. I'm going to double click and I'm going to call it top box. And I'm going to say okay. This is the only way you can go back to the coordinate systems you generate, because if you go back to the word one, then anything you did not save will be deleted. And then I go okay. And now if I drop down this menu here, I can see the word and then I can see my top box coordinate system. I can also create a UCS by selecting 3 points. So if I click this icon here with 3 points, now it's asking me to specify the new origin. So that first click is going to be the new origin that I wanted it here. The second click is the positive X direction. So I'm going to go here. And then the third point is the positive Y direction. And I want positive Y to go up. So now I have created a new user coordinate system by selecting 3 points. Remember, the first click is the new origin, so it's 0, 0, 0. The second click is the positive X, and the third click is the positive Y. So now everything that I've been drawing, remember that we always draw first on 2D, so on XY. So everything that we'll be drawing now will be on this plane, and then it will have a depth in the Z direction. So now we're gonna draw another cylinder here. So I'm gonna go home, cylinder, cylinder. Now I'm going to type the coordinates for the origin, which is halfway here, so 2.5, and then halfway up 1. Uh, Tip here is when you are typing coordinates, try to put your cursor outside that area. If not, sometimes that goes a little crazy. So I'm gonna move my cursor. Now I'm gonna type the origin. So in X is 2.5, in Y is 1, and in Z is 0. Now I have a diameter of 2, so I'm gonna type D, enter, 2, enter. So now I have a diameter of 2, and the height is 1. Again, I'm following the handout for those dimensions. You can edit a object very easily. You can click here, and then if you click one of these arrows here, you can extend it in any direction you want. And if you select this arrow, you can move it up or down. We can also change the visual styles. So if you guys notice here, I have a custom view because I've been rotating randomly. I can select specific ones: top, bottom, left, right, isometric views, and I can also change the visual style. So right now we're in realistic, but we can go to 2D wireframe. This is what you usually have been doing in AutoCAD 2D. Can do a conceptual, hidden, realistic, and so on. I can also rotate my axis. So if you click your axis, right click, you go rotate. You can rotate any of the axes, and then you can type exactly the rotation angle. So if you go 90, then you have rotated that axis 90 degrees. In the next tutorial, we'll go through the drawing problem together.